I skated about the same time I started snowboarding when I was about 6 years old, and I don't know, it's always been a part of my life. I just never really took it as serious as snowboarding until I was about 16. I don't know. I mean, I hit a point where I was, I felt like I was keeping the same kind of level as snowboarding. I kept learning new tricks every summer, and I kept going and going, and eventually I started competing, I said when I was around 16, and at that point I got third in a pro event. I'm like, man, maybe I can really, get this going. And I think at that point, once I see something that's somewhat possible, I just go for it. So. Yeah, it was wild. I mean, that was the hugest thing for me because I always dreamed of being able to do that. You know what I mean? To get going both winter and summer. It didn't really seem possible until I started really going at it, and I don't know. I just dedicated 1 year to, because I have to balance the time between snowboarding and skating, and so I took one season and just kind of went for it. I won a bunch of the Do Tour events, and then I came through and won the X Games, so it was solid. Well, that's the thing is, I don't know, I mean, I always kind of ended up skating my own way. From the start, I always, if I didn't want to learn the trick that leads to the next trick, I just skip it and do what I want to do. And I don't know, it's just funny to be able to drop everything and change sports like that. But I think for me, it's just, it's something that I have to do, you know what I mean? Otherwise, it won't stay fun. You don't want to do the same, it's not, the same cereal every day, it gets old, so it gives me a nice break in my year. Yeah, it's awful, it's so hard. The thing is, it's like, normally people outside of the industry or that do the sports, people outside of that wouldn't understand, but, because you think a board, it's the same thing, but I mean, your snowboard's like twice as big, and you got your goggles and helmet and all this extra gear, and it's just totally different, you know what I mean? And there's this feeling that I get that's like, you feel your skateboard through the bottom of your shoe, and you lose that feeling after a while of not being on your board. So I have to like regain that kind of like connection with my skateboard once I've been away too long, you know what I mean? I don't know. I think the biggest is for me when I think about the X Games. I think that the thing I would be the most proud of is getting a medal in slopestyle and halfpipe. You know what I mean? Because just like I don't know. I do skateboarding and snowboarding. Not many guys even do both events within the sport. You know what I mean? It's very hard to be good at halfpipe and slopestyle. And for me, I was just like, I want to do them both. You know what I mean? I love hitting handrails too. I like all the aspects of it. So I'm really like keen on focusing in and trying to be better at all of that. So that was probably my favorite. I was 16. I got gold in both. I was just like, you're 16. I was like, walking on, sunshine. It was wild. It was just different, you know what I mean? And I didn't know what to expect, you know what I mean? We're going into the Olympics and they're interviewing me about what's it gonna be like to even make the team, what it'd be like to even win a medal or even place. And afterward, afterward, now having gone to the Olympics and done that, I understand what it meant to everyone else as well. But yeah, it was just wild. It was just like the world was watching instead of just, it goes from this like pretty massive group to the world, you know what I mean? Like I was just in Bali and over in the Maldives, and like the locals were like, you snowboard, right? It's a crazy thing to be known like that, you know what I mean? And some pressure. The game's gonna be awesome. I can't wait. We're doing a party up in LA on the 11th to celebrate the launch, but yeah, it's gonna be crazy. It's one of those things where, I don't know, I did the Olympics and everybody's like, wow, you're done, you did everything you can do, and I'm like, wow, I feel like I just got started, you know what I mean? I feel like there's so much for me to do, and that's when I went and had my skateboard season blowout and got the medal, and I think, with the game, with all these cool opportunities, it's like, what do I really want to do? You know what I mean? Like, I've played video games since I was like 4, you know what I mean? And I've always wanted to do a game, and when that opportunity came about, I was just like, all right, sweet, like that's what I want to do. This is what I want to do, and really like plan my season out to what, you know, I think is going to help me, you know, ride the best and be the most innovative, you know what I mean? And you know, because it all comes from being happy and being into what you're doing. So I think that's what's really driving me is staying focused and staying, you know, happy and having it fun. It's right when you let it become a job, it's just too much, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, I could come out here and try to train all day, but it won't do anything, you know what I mean? I have to have like a certain mindset and mood, so. Gosh, yeah, this Winter X Games is going to be pretty wild. I'm hoping to try some new tricks. Especially, I mean, the Olympic season's right around the corner, so everybody's going to be really, you know, pushing it this year. I think that's what's going to be the craziest, to see what the new tricks are for the season after this one. And it's crazy because the events roll through the summertime. So I'll do X Games summer and go straight to like New Zealand or Chile or something like that, and start practicing for the Olympics. That's what I did, you know, on the last Olympics. So there's no real break. It's just season into summertime season, straight into it. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's gonna be wild. Yeah, I mean, it keeps going up and up and up. And the crazy part is that not only does the you know, athletic side of things go up, but they're making improvements with the actual you know, things that we ride, like the half pipe and all that stuff. They just created the Monster Zog, I'm pretty sure it's called. We went from like 14-foot half pipes to 22-foot half pipes. And so what that does, it allows you to go bigger, allows you to spin more, to do extra flips. Like, it's gonna be pretty wild, yeah. You know, it's really hard for me to like even prefer a sport, but right now it's skateboarding because I've been doing it. You know what I mean? I was into my snowboard thing, and now I'm still into my skating season. But I don't know. Come a month from now or so, I'm gonna be full on into snow. I know it's hard to choose. It's like right when I get to the snow, I'm so excited because I haven't done it in a while. So I'm like, you know. Gosh, I don't know. I mean, I'm just gonna keep going for it. That's the cool part, I think, is there's no real limit to what we can do and what is feasible, because no one's really done this before. So, see where it goes. How do I want to be remembered? Man, I don't know. I'd hope to be remembered as a guy that just kind of did this from the start, without really any plans or motivations like that, and just took it to as far as I could. You know what I mean? It's like one of those generation gaps where, you know, like the first pioneer of our sports and within snowboarding and skateboarding was pretty much Tony Hawk. You know what I mean? He took what we were and brought it to like a new level. You know what I mean? And hopefully I can be the guy to do that for everyone else, you know what I mean? Or at least improve some things and I don't know, keep going. It was pretty wild. I mean, it was just like he'd been trying that trick forever and he finally nailed it. And it was even after the time, you know what I mean, the event wasn't even going, they just let him keep skating and he nailed it. And it was just pretty monumental for the sport. I mean, everybody was just blown away at what he could do, and it definitely struck a chord not only with our sport and our industry, but, you know, mainstream. You know what I mean? So right after that, Tony did the 900 and became this crazy household name, and then all of a sudden the video game came out and it just exploded for him. You know what I mean? And it was crazy because I was just a little kid at that point. So I'd be hanging out with him, walk through the airport, and he's just getting mobbed by people, and you know, it was just cool to see. Yeah.